Target and welcome back to my channel. So I told you about my last video that you guys a lot of these author-tube tags I can do more than once for all my stories. So I'm doing another one, but I'm going to do it again eventually when I'm on my next story. So this one is story idea writing tag. So there are 10 questions. Ready? Question number 1. Current story. What is your current story idea that you're working on right now? So that's Jasmine Perez and the Wicked Sorceress. Well, technically I'm done with that one because it's published and on Amazon. So the one I'm working on right now is the sequel, Jasmine Perez in Another Realm. And so yeah. Number 2, spark of inspiration. Do your ideas begin with characters, plots, world building, or something else entirely? Usually I come up with the plot idea, and usually it just happens overnight. It's like, and it's not, I don't mean that little. It's not like I dream of it, no, because I don't remember my dreams. But it's just like I could be doing nothing, and then all of a sudden this idea comes to my mind, and I jot it down so I remember. So the plots I always come up with first. Characters definitely second because I want to know who my characters are, and yeah. So and then I do the world building because even though that is important, I feel like you cannot build a world without the plots and characters first. If that makes any sense. It might just be me, but I don't know. Number 3, brainstorm. How do you puzzle piece your story elements together? Do you start your way from the ending to make your way up to the beginning, or vice versa? I start from the beginning, obviously. I mean, a lot of times when I do come up with a new series idea, I always write series, no standalones. I come up with a bunch of different scenes at once, a lot of time, and after I come up with the idea, within a week, I have all these different scenes that play in my mind. So I write them all down so I remember them, and I remember to put them in my story whenever I'm at the part that they need to go in. But I still start from the beginning. I don't know how you can start from the end. I start from the beginning because it's easier, because then you know what path you're taking, you know where you're going. Number 4, keep or toss. How do you know if you want to keep or dump a story idea? I don't know because I haven't decided to toss a story idea yet. I have several story ideas waiting until my Jasmine Perez story is done, and so far I've chosen to keep them all. That I want to at least try and to see if that can become a good book, and I guess if I don't think it's working, then I'll toss it. But yeah, so number 5, original idea. How much of your original idea for your story is actually uses once everything is finished? I mean, always the original idea always is from beginning to end is the original idea I come up with before I even put my pencil on my paper or put my fingers on my laptop, whatnot. My original story is still the story when it's finished. It doesn't become something else entirely. It just becomes the same story I envisioned. I mean, sometimes it might be a little bit different. No, not really different, just like I mean, there are things, like I told you, there are scenes I already knew I was going to do, but there are things that I decided to put in that I didn't originally foresee, but I'm pretty sure that's for everyone. So number 6, hide or share. Do you share your ideas with friends or keep them a secret? I share them. I don't think I call every one of my friends, but first person I always tell is my mom. Second is my best friend Alyssa. I usually tell her what's going on, and then whenever I publish a story, I'll tell all of my close friends, or I'll tell all my social media. Let's be real here. When I first published Jasmine Perez, I was so excited. My first published novel, so I posted it several times all over social media, every social media I own. So yeah, but I definitely share them because, you know, I like their input, and I like to see if it's something they might like. You know, listen, I have some of the same, what's the word? Same likes and dislikes. So, I mean, not with everything, obviously. There are some things that I like she doesn't, or she likes that I don't. But we do have a lot in common. So I like to know her input. And my mom, even though we don't always have a lot in common, I still like to know her input. Her input is really important to me. So yeah. Number 7, dream. Have any of your book ideas originated with a dream, nightmare? No, I don't remember my dreams or nightmares. There's only one I've ever remembered, which I still remember to this day because it's weird as heck. I don't remember it for detail like I did back then, but I still remember what it was, and that was years and years and years and years ago. But I don't remember dreams and nightmares anymore. And that was like the only one my entire life I remembered when I woke up, and I still remember some of it, and it's weird, and I still to this day don't understand what the heck it was. So no. Like I said, my story ideas usually just pop in my head randomly throughout the day, so I don't know. Doppelganger. Have you ever had an idea for a story but then see a familiar premise in a book, TV show, movie? I don't think so. I mean, everyone had, if you read a lot of books, watch a lot of TV, watch a lot of movies, then I'm sure you might find similarities, but it's not because you copied it or anything. It's because sometimes that's been done several times and you just came up with the idea too. Or, you know, sometimes you get inspired by things you already like, you know? I mean, there will be similarities, most likely. Maybe not, but most likely. There will be similarities in something you read or something you watch, because you take inspiration from things you already like to create the story. Number 9, big screen inspiration. Have any of your favorite TV shows, movies sparked ideas for scenes in your book? Yes. It's not one of my favorite series, but I do love it. It's called Storymakers. It's a trilogy. And there was something that inspired an idea of mine, but I made it my own. I still changed it up and stuff, obviously. But yeah. Number 10, nostalgia. Nostalgia. What's the oldest first story you remember coming up with, writing down? Wattpad related or not? Because I've been writing Wattpad for years and years and years and years and years and years. It feels like a lifetime I've been on Wattpad. Seriously, I'm not even kidding you. Wattpad is just a big part of my life, and I still use it. Even though I'm published now, I still like Wattpad. My first Wattpad story was, I think I mentioned it in a recent video, was unlike what I usually read or write, which is Greek mythology, because I used my favorite god and my favorite goddess. My favorite god had a son, Ares. Ares is my favorite god, and he had a son. My favorite goddess, Athena, had a daughter, and then they end up meeting and falling in love, and then I don't really remember it that much. I never even finished the series. I did I'm on the 3rd book and it's still unfinished, and that was like so long ago. But my first non-Wattpad story was this one story I had. And I still want to recreate it and turn it into a book eventually. It's not like at the very top of my list, like there's a few books I want to do in front of it, but I had started it and it was my first book, but it got lost, and that's a long story I do not want to get into. A few other of my stuff got lost, like a video my dad gave me, Jeff Dunham Christmas special, and the 3 first Survivor books. Actually, I never ended up reading them before I lost them, but they were given to me as a graduation present from the bookkeeper of my high school. But the thing I was most upset about was that book, because that's the one thing I can't replace. The other things I can replace, that I couldn't. It's something I created, and now it's lost forever. But I'm planning on remaking it, and I pretty much remember the idea of the story, so, and I wrote it all down on my phone, so I'm going to recreate it eventually, whenever I feel like it. We'll see when that is. So please like and subscribe and comment your answers, or do this tag and tag me in it so I can see your answers. So yeah, have a nice day.